taking the finish line. Good run coming. Hurry, hurry. I mean, the horse.
MaddiKempf.
Hey guys, welcome to Barrel Racer Life. My name's Maddi-Stoltman. So this past week I got to do a little barrel racing. Jada is not back quite yet. I'm hoping soon. I'm really impatient with healing. Actually, I'm just impatient in general. Jada is feeling better. I've started to ride her a little bit, but I just want to make sure that she's feeling 100% before I run her again. The reality is, and I have to remind myself of this, that it is only January, so we have a long season ahead of us, and having a sound horse is the most important thing. So I ran Claude a little bit this past week. I'll show you guys all about it and kind of the things that went on the farm here this week too.
I've seen one of these before. It's a little scary, but I think it's a toy. I had a toy like that before. Is this one a toy too? I don't know, my friend's scared of it, but just so curious. The last time I had one of these, it was a lot of fun. Is this the same kind of toy? I don't know. I don't know. Do you think it's a toy? You're touching it and it didn't hurt you. Maybe it is a toy. Well, maybe 8's kind of a cult too. It was for Passport, but he's thinking it's pretty cool. Have a good sleep. You has a good sleep with a poop pillow, Jada? That's nice. Yeah, hi pretty girl. You think you should get some treats? Yeah, Passport? Yeah? Really? Well, we're loaded up. I'm headed over to Rancho Rio, which is in Wickenburg, for a barrel race today. They have a nice jackpot there. They run it every Thursday. I haven't been there since last year. I also entered Buckeye, which is my first pro rodeo, so that was a learning curve in itself. But yeah, I got entered for Buckeye, so I will be running there at the pro rodeo, my very first one, next weekend. So pretty excited.
Good.
All done here at Rancho Rio. Claude and I had actually a decent run. It was really not pretty, but he was running. So we ran a 17.8. It was a little bit wild and not really super correct, but he was going fast. And we actually ended up 5th out of 103 girls, I believe it was. So a 17.6 won it, and he was a 17.8. So I'm happy with that. It's nice to win a little money and know that we're kind of hanging with the tough crowd. So I'm proud of him in that way. It was good. I will take it. We're moving up in the world, clean run. So it was a good day.
What are you monkeys doing? Claude, did you pull his halter off?
Champions, we'll crown them tomorrow. We're underway.
Will,
Hustling
lay down.
horns and hooves. Buckskin horse, let's get going. Straight lines and fast corners. Yeah, on two. One more time again. VF born for glory. Can't fault them for trying, can we? No time. We'll set a barrel. Would have been a 17-281.
Well, that was a little bit wild. Yeah, that wasn't very good. But you know what? Claude was running, so I'll take that. Yeah. Honestly, my mentality today was to get him to run hard. I'm going to tell you why. I've been having a hard time getting Claude in the gate, and I haven't shared that with you guys because it was something I kind of wanted to sort out. But I'm going to share it with you because it's kind of not a common issue necessarily, but it happens in our barrel racing world. So I want to share with you that I've been having that issue. I've taken him to 2 different vets to check if he's sound, structurally, if he's feeling okay in his body. Both have said yes, he looks good, didn't need anything injected or any kind of maintenance. But now I needed him to run hard, and I ran him 2 days in a row, and I'm taking him to the vet for a BAL, which is a lung test to test if they have been bleeding. So that's what we're going to do today.
This past week was my friend Ethan's birthday. He's married to my friend Callie, so we got to have some more fun at Topgolf and have some good time with friends.
That's it, right? Okay, so a little follow-up on things with Claude. I really had a hard time deciding if I wanted to share what was going on with him for a few reasons. And I think because A, people can be judgmental of what some of the preventatives are required to handle a horse that is a bleeder. And that was part of it. And B, I think sometimes there's like this kind of line of sharing your life, but also living and maintaining kind of things that you're trying to work out. And I don't know, sometimes you just gotta keep some stuff personal. So some of me didn't want to share it, but then I thought, you know what, there's gonna be girls that also have these same issues, and that's the whole reason I started this vlog, was so that we can be relatable. I can share with you the ups and downs of barrel racing and rodeoing and all that. So I wanted to share with you what was going on with Claude and his little bit of a gait issue that we've been having. I knew that that wasn't him. He's not a horse that doesn't want to go in. He loves to work, he loves to run, and he just, was acting out of character. So I have posted a video before about gait issues, and if you guys haven't watched that, it's in my Random Thoughts Thursday videos. You should go and watch it. And in there I do talk about bleeding. So I've managed a horse that is a bleeder before. I can do it again. I'm really glad that we figured out what's going on with Claude. So I'll tell you a little bit about the BAL test. So what they do is they actually stick a tube down into the horse's lungs, and they pump some saline in there, and then they pull the saline out and send it for testing. When we pulled the saline out, it was pretty clear that there was some blood in there. So that I have not got the test back yet, but my vet was able to tell me, judging by that he is bleeding. So the thing with the bleeder, it's kind of one of those things you sort of have to figure out what works for them. There's great ways to manage it. So if you think that your horse is bleeding, go talk to your vet. Don't mess around with it. Just go talk to the vet. If they're not wanting to go on the gate, they're probably hurting somewhere or somewhere internally. Like, there's generally, I think, if a horse likes their job and they just quit wanting to go in, there's probably a reason for it. So make sure that you talk to your vet or someone that you care about to get advice on issues like that. But I wanted to share with you what's going on with Claude, and I'm happy to say we're going to be able to manage it, and he's going to be a whole lot happier now. Also, I realized that I probably didn't share with everyone what bleeding is. A lot of you barrel racers are going to know, but some of you are probably going, I don't know what bleeding is. If you call a horse a bleeder, what that means is that this happens a lot in race horses. There hasn't been as much testing on, or studies done on barrel horses, but we're noticing that it's more common in the barrel horse industry as well. And what happens is that a horse will run so hard that the capillaries in their lungs will actually burst, and they will have blood inside of their lungs. It sounds horrible, and it is horrible. It's just kind of one of those things. I don't know, they don't necessarily always know why horses bleed, if it's from, the air conditions, if it's something genetic. There hasn't really been enough testing to decide or to determine why it happens in these horses, but it's common, so don't be surprised if your horse is someone that is experiencing symptoms like that. And if you're worried about it, go talk to your vet. They will gladly help you with it. Well, that's all I got for you this week, you guys. So thank you so much for watching. I have my first pro rodeo coming up this weekend. I was really hoping to run Jada, so I'm just going to kind of see how she feels this week. I'd like to make a practice run on her before I take her to a rodeo, just because she's had a bit of time off. So I'm going to kind of see how she's feeling this week and decide if it's going to be her or Claude that's going to the rodeo. So to be determined. I did get the slack, which is probably a good thing. It's a little less nerve-wracking that way. So I'll be running in the slack at Buckeye Rodeo on Saturday evening. I'm excited, a little nervous of course, but more excited than anything. I feel like I've been waiting a long time to start doing the pro rodeos, and now I've just decided it's finally time for it to happen. So I'm excited. Be rooting me on, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying my videos.